All right, excited for the challenge. Division opponent on the road, a really good football team. I got a ton of respect for Coach Taylor and what they're doing. They got great players. They're playing really good ball, so we got to be ready for a 60-minute affair. I know you guys got the statement on Odell. I'd say it's disappointing. Obviously, it's unfortunate how it all went down, but I wish him well, and I will answer any questions you guys have.
Kevin, I know we've asked you a ton of questions about the situation, but the fans really want to know, why did this thing deteriorate the way it did? As far as Odell, and whether it's the relationship with him and the organization, or him and Baker, just why did it fall apart?
Yeah, I would just tell you we're moving on. It's unfortunate how it happened. I think it's unfortunate for both sides, but we have to move on and put our focus on this game versus Cincinnati.
Kevin, when did you know he wanted out?
Yeah, Nate, I would just tell you I'm not going to get into specifics of all of it, and I understand the question, but I think it's more important that we focus on Cincinnati. I understand the attention that this has gotten. We understand it. Obviously, not going to ignore it, but we really have to focus on going down there and finding a way to win.
Sean Johnson said yesterday that the majority of the locker room would want Odell back. So how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think John and all of our guys are great teammates, and they don't want to see any of their guys leave the team in any fashion. We talk about injuries are a part of this game, and then the next man has to stand up, or step up, I should say. So I would say that's our teammates always standing up for your teammate.
What is it about what you know about Baker in terms of how he's going to move forward from this?
Yeah, I think all of us have to move forward, and we have a challenge on Sunday right in front of us. So Baker had a good week of practice, and I think he's ready to go.
This could be a real divisive thing, or it could be galvanizing. From your perspective, do you feel like this is something that could galvanize this team and bring it together?
I think a win would galvanize this team. I think that's where our focus is. We've got to find a way to win this week.
Kevin, is it rough to have to change the game plan now, or just an integral part of your offense? Just how tough was that from the coaching standpoint?
Yeah, I think we have to adjust. We have to adjust as always. Sometimes you adjust week to week. Sometimes you adjust day to day, in the middle of the second quarter, those type of things. So we just have to adjust.
Did you at any point during this week think it might be salvageable with Odell, or did it feel like a foregone conclusion?
Yeah, I think I told you guys on Wednesday, that he was excused, and those, our side and their side were discussing things. So that's kind of where we were at that moment. And now, obviously, coming to this point where we're moving on.
You only got the coaching for 13 games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any regrets about not working them in? I know you said many times we want to involve them more. Does this thing end with you saying to yourself, man, I wish we would have gotten to that sooner so that it maybe resolved the way it did?
I think I've told you guys this, and I do believe this. It's my job to get the most out of our players. I'm always disappointed when I can't do that.
How have you seen kind of the internal leadership, the player leadership on this team kind of handled this week?
Yeah, I think the guys understand that we have a very big football game on Sunday against a really good team, and we have to focus there, understand what's going on the outside, and do our best to keep that focus on what we all have to do. We all have to go do our job, and that's a pretty simple way of looking at it.
Last time we talked to you, you hadn't talked to Odell. Did you ever talk to him?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him, and I will reach out at some point. I think you guys know this. It's an unfortunate situation. I hold no ill will, but both sides, I think, are going to move on.
So when we hear you haven't talked to him this week, or at least since whenever, when was the last time you talked to him?
Probably Sunday.
Okay. So that could create the perception that not everything was done to try to bring this thing back together.
Yeah.
Can you address that?
Yeah, I would tell you, Nate. I think this situation was handled the right way on both sides, on their side, on our side. We have to move on. Doesn't mean I'm not disappointed. For all of our guys, you want to make sure that you get the most out of them. It just this is how we're going to handle it. And again, I do wish him well.
I asked you last week if he was a fit with what you were trying to do here, and you gave a rather diplomatic answer. Is that I mean, sometimes it isn't a fit. Just it doesn't work. Is that the case here?
Yeah, I don't know if I could get into all the specifics, Daryl. I just tell you it didn't work out, and again, I'm disappointed that I couldn't do a better job. But I think both sides are going to move on.
Kevin, you mentioned being disappointed, but is there any little sense of relief that this isn't hanging over now and it's just that clean cut? He can move on, you guys can move on. A little sense of relief with that?
I wouldn't use those words, Matt. I just think as a team, we have a big game this week, so the focus really goes right to there.
Obviously, it makes sense. You keep mentioning the focus needs to be there. Have you seen the focus that needs to be there with such a big game?
I really have, Scott. I think our guys are pros. You know, they understand in a given week in the NFL, there are certain things that are going on, and it's our job to do our job. That's where the focus goes.
What's your defensive end situation look like Sunday with Todd? I know Jadeveon didn't practice last week, but he still played.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel good about both of those guys Sunday?
Yeah, I think they got some work in. I think we'll see how it goes over the next 24 hours, but I think we're trending in the right direction.
Do you have a feel for Denzel Ward?
He had a good week of practice, but again, got to see how it goes in the next 24 hours.
Donovan as well.
Really all those guys, yeah. But for the most part, I'm feeling good about a lot of those guys.
Is Jadeveon reached the point where it's almost like JC, where he's just kind of managing it to get to Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I think with any player, you mentioned JC, guys that have an injury history, we're going to be smart about it. Obviously, they have to practice, and those guys do practice, and make sure that they get the work that they need. But we got to be smart about all these guys because all of them have a different injury history.
And with no Harrison today, and I know it's questionable, do you need a third tight end to do what you want to do on game day, whether it's him or calling somebody up?
Yes.
Kevin, I know we asked you, whenever it was, Wednesday, about Jarvis. Now that this is, reach an outcome, have you had any more conversations with him about his best friend on the team?
Yeah,
The way he did?
Nate, I tell you, I'll keep all those conversations private with all the guys.
Can you say whether you think that Jarvis is going to be able to kind of focus as you kept emphasizing in this availability?
Yeah,
where you need him to?
he's a pro.